Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? This is Easy Things to Draw. In this video, we're going to go over how to draw the nose. Essentially how to draw a realistic nose or just a nose in general. So I'm going to kind of go over kind of the construction of it, different parts of it, and then so. So let's kind of go over this. The nose is made up of several different parts, like right off the bat. If you look at it from the front and you break it down into shapes, the nose has the bridge of the nose. Then there's the ball of the nose. This is if it's looking straight up front of us, at us. And then there's the wings of the nostrils. Right? Wings of the nostrils. And I'm not sure what this other portion is called. It's the portion from the nostrils to the bridge, And it's essentially this kind of triangular, kind of like sliding down of the side of the nose, really. But I think that's really just part of the bridge, honestly. The bridge is this portion of it. Kind of like a bridge. And those are basically the parts. Some people have a split within the ball of their nose, and you can actually see it, Depends kind of if you're dehydrated. If you're older, I know if you're older, this split starts to get more major. So those are essentially the very basic parts of that. And we'll go over that more and more, So when you're doing that, thinking about the nose and the side view here, the nose, the bone part is really small. It's really just the top of your nose, really. So let's just say this is a skull. The rest is cartilage, That's why you see that in the skull. The rest is really just cartilage. So because of that, you're going to see a lot of different shapes of noses. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of them. You do have, like, for example, you have that one, which is essentially kind of a larger nose. But then you have some that kind of cut before that. You know what I mean? You have this upturned nose. So, and then you kind of have the downward hanging noses. And there's a lot of people like that. I've known a couple people like that. It kind of hangs downward over the mouth almost. So I mean, it can be in a variety of different ways because it's cartilage, because it's malleable, because it's so malleable like that. The skeletal part isn't so much. And with nose jobs, they tend to kind of mess with the cartilage. So let's kind of talk about how to kind of draw this nose essentially. So I'm gonna go. Let's just take this side view. When you look at it from the front, and you're drawing a nose, like I said, I do take those same parts into account. Take the ball of the nose, the ridge, and then the wings of the nostril. I'm drawing them in there. And what I like to do is I like to think of where the light source is coming from, right? The light source tends to be coming from above. So because of that, the nose itself is going to cause a cast shadow onto the lip. Hopefully you can see that. Is it on camera? Yeah. It's going to cause a cast shadow onto the lip. And that's a lot. That's very frequent within portraiture. Within portrait art, that happens all the time because the light tends to be coming from above. So you get this cast shadow again. I'm just going to fill it in quick. And then you also get kind of a smaller, on the underside of the nose, since you can kind of see the underside of the ball there. On the underside of the nose, you see this kind of rolling of form right here. It's going to be a thin line. I'm not even sure if you can see that. It's going to be a very thin kind of rolling line. And the reason that is because the nose is organic. It's still organic. It's not a hard edge so much. We're not robots. But you kind of have this rolling, this really fast rolling of form over here. And it's even going to kind of roll over here. I'm taking into account that this is kind of a ball shape. Like I said, the ball of the nose, the point. And of course it changes. Everything varies from different noses. I'm just going to go over a general, very general nose. And I kind of roll it up here. And it's not like a shadow. It's kind of like a half shadow. They call it half tone. I'm going to roll it up there. And like I've said before, the only reason that exists is to kind of show the rolling of form. So you can show the form. Otherwise it'd just be white. You know what I mean? And I kind of do this exact same half tone here they call it, half value. They do it half tone. I do it all the way up the ridge sometimes. Maybe I space it out a little bit, but I do all the way up the ridge. And then it connects to the eyes up there somewhere, you know. And if I want to shade more than this nose, I would actually, if I want to make it pop out, I would put in more value here. I just put in more value. And I also got to remember that it's actually darker when it's closest to an object that it's casting that shadow. So it kind of is darker toward here, toward the nostril, and then as it comes out, it's kind of like whatever's casting the shadow is a little bit further away from it, which is the tip of the nose. As like that will get lighter around here. And then you make a secondary shadow for the kind of the fulcrum, the mouth. But we'll go over that with the mouth section. So that's kind of how I would, you know, go over like the shading of the nose there. Let's talk a little bit more about the underside of the nose when it's like when you're looking right up the nostril. When you're looking right up the nostril, I definitely think of it as a triangle shape, right? Let's say it's the underside. And you got to remember that ball down there. You look at that underside of that ball. And then you got that lower part of the between the nostrils there. You know what I mean? I forget what that's called. It's also cartilage. I forget exactly what that's called. You have the nostrils. And the nostrils are filled in. The underside can be kind of tricky for people. It's really not. It's very simple. I would say it's almost easier because, like I said, it has that triangular shape. You know. If you were to actually shade that, let's go into kind of like how you would shade that per se, or how would you show that through? Let's see. How would you show that through? You know, like let's say using like a pen or something like that. I would take into account that ball is there, and I wouldn't, like I said, you learn the rules to kind of like go by them. You know what I mean? To just kind of memorize them and internalize them. I'll just take that account and try to make it a little bit more organic. You know, round it out toward there. And I would shade this in as best as I could with pen right now. This is just kind of a demonstration. And then just kind of fool around like that. Like I said, all these are organic. The reason you remember stuff like this is because it's breaking it down to its simplest form. And the more simpler it is, the easier it is to wrap your head around it and then kind of do what you want with it, you know? Like I can put like some squishiness around here, you know, I think of the what is organic. Maybe you can even put the edge of the nose going up, like the bridge behind it over there. And kind of go on that and make that a little bit darker as well. But the nose, the cool thing about the nose is the nose, it doesn't show as much expression as, it's not cool, but the good thing about the nose is that it doesn't show as much expression as, let's say, the eye or the mouth, because those are really malleable and they show all kinds of range of expression. For the most part with a nose, honestly, it just kind of flares up, really. There's really not a whole lot of emotion. I'm going to do another video on expressions as well, but I mean, that's pretty much it with a nose. It's very simple. I'll talk about a little bit more. Like, if you have any questions on the nose, please send them to me, and I can put them into the full portrait video. I'm going to have a video all about portraits, like the whole face, you know, all that stuff put together. So let me know about that, but that's about it for now. Like I said, let me know if you have any more questions on this. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll talk to you later.